Hey everyone, this is Jonathan back with another video. And today I'm excited to talk to you about some of the things that I've learned in the first 5 years of my career. Now, a goal of mine going into 2021 is to provide a little more personalized content and content that I think can be applicable for, I think, a broader range of audiences and being able to still give some instruction, but also basing those off the things that I've learned and that I've been able to develop over time. I think that just makes things a little more personalized and I think applicable. And so I want to share a couple different things that I've learned, working in both a small organization and a large organization, just in general. So I'm excited. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I've been able to learn during the first 5 years of my career has been the importance of building an internal brand. Building an internal brand within your company, you have to make sure that people know who you are. And this is really important because it allows you to be able to provide and scale your opportunities. I currently work in a large organization, over 15,000, 20,000 employees. And it can be hard, when you're working in a large department to be noticed. But building an internal brand is huge because it's what exposes you and it's what allows you to be able to be seen by leaders and which provides more opportunities. One of the ways that I've been able to really kind of build and learn my internal brand is being able to network with other departments or other, teams within my department. I work in the recruiting team. The recruiting team's a little over 200, but I specialize specifically in the tech organization. But they're still recruiting for business and marketing and other teams as well that even though we're doing the same job, they're focusing on different skill sets. And so what I try to do is I try to network with them, whether that's collaborating on projects or just doing coffee chats or even just at, fun things, being able to introduce myself and connect with them. And building an internal brand, it's really important. And I think it's important because it allows you to be able to get the exposure that you need. And it allows you to, I think, provides even potentially opportunities for mentors or people in the future if they leave your current company and then go somewhere else and they think about you. But building an internal brand is huge. I definitely think that it's something that being noticed and being recognized definitely matters if you want to be successful. And so that's something I've definitely learned. It's been important. It's something I've had to work on. It's something about putting myself out there. It's reaching out to different people. It's finding people that might have, gone to a similar school or have done similar things to me in the past and being able to just connect with them and just being a human. And I can't emphasize how important this is, especially the younger you are in your career. The earlier that you get this is, it's more important. And as time goes on, and you grow into a leadership role, you naturally have that brand based on your position. But when you're starting kind of entry level in the same way that I did, it was really important to get in front of people, both on the leadership level and on the, peer-to-peer level. So can't emphasize this point enough. So the second thing that I've learned in my career thus far has been that in order to be successful and to grow, you have to go above and beyond. Now, this is something I really wish I knew in my first role. And honestly, I made that mistake. I came into my first role and honestly, I kind of did, my job description and the bare minimum. I didn't really go above and beyond. I didn't seek extra work. I didn't look for ways that I could improve the process or improve the company brand. I just kind of did my job and went home. And it's honestly like one of my biggest regrets. And the reason for that is because I wasn't able to really make as much of a direct impact on the organization as I could have. And I really felt like I missed a lot of things and I missed a lot of opportunities, especially being in a smaller organization. It wasn't until I got to my second job at Wayfair that I really had to learn, like, okay, in order to grow, I have to go above and beyond my job description. For myself, one of the ways that that's been is taking on side projects. And so an example of a side project that I did was really working on, when I first got to Wayfair, was working on the glass door functionality. It wasn't really monitored, at least for our organization, or it wasn't monitored as well as it could have. It was monitored, but it definitely could have made improvements. And it was something that, as a millennial, and I checked, it before I went over to that company. And it was something that I looked at and I was like, okay, this can be improved. And so I asked around and then basically went and did with this project. And I started presenting on the importance of it, trying to get our candidates to be able to review our interviews and just doing different things like that to help improve our overall just engagement on the platform. And through this, I was able to kind of reference my last point, build a really good internal brand and work cross-functionally with a bunch of other people. And through that, I was able to get noticed and get promoted later on the next year. And so now that's not the only reason I did, but it was definitely a big part of it, and it allowed me to be able to expand my growth and expand the ability of what I was doing. I wasn't just recruiting; I just wasn't filling in butts and seats. I was trying to go above and beyond, and this is so important, as time goes on, that as you grow in your career, especially if you're in your younger career or even in the middle of your career, that you go above and beyond. If you're in a new role and, after 90 days or so, look for ways that you can help improve outside of just what's required of you, because that is what makes that is what makes you valuable to an organization and makes you irreplaceable. So I can't emphasize this point enough. I know I said that about like every single point, but this one is super important and something I wish I got earlier. I wish I knew this right in my first job. It took me, at least 2-3 years to figure this out before I really noticed the differences that it made in my career. So definitely would recommend this. Go above and beyond. So the third thing that I've had to learn so far in the first 5 years of my career is that I have to focus on what I can control. And this was really, really hard for me. And as I, moved from a small organization to a bigger organization, that control just became less and less. And and regardless of whether you work for yourself or if you're working in a small company or a large company, there are going to always be variables and factors and things that you cannot control. And your mindset and your approach to it is absolutely crucial in how effective you're going to be. There was a time when, when I was in my job and I was going through a really rough quarter. There was just internal things happening with the company, external things happening in my life. And a lot of it I couldn't control. And instead of having a great attitude, I had a bad attitude. And, it could be seen like all throughout, people I was working with. And I'll never forget, one of my bosses sitting down with me and being like, honestly, Jonathan, people can tell like when you're feeling these things and you wear it on your sleeve. And I'm not very great at hiding my emotions. And if you know me, that's true. But what I had to learn was really that I'm not going to be able to control everything, and I have to focus on things that I can control, because when I focus on things that I can't control, I just become more and more frustrated on those types of things, and it takes away from the effectiveness of what I can do. This was so important, and I think in a lot of ways, I'm really glad I caught this early. I learned this probably within the last year and a half, but I'm really glad that I caught this earlier in my career and not, 10 years down the line, because this is really a big difference. And I think what organizations are looking for when they're looking for leaders is someone that can be mature, someone that can go with the ups and downs, because every company has ups and downs. Everyone's life has ups and downs. And are you going to be someone that's stable, or are you going to be someone that is reactionary to those types of things, which then becomes, and then shows within your work? And this is something that I think, it's hard, because as humans, we want to control things. At least I do. I'm a control freak. But most of us, we like to control things. But when we work in a large machine or a small machine or in our own business, and there are external or internal factors, there are going to be things that we cannot control. And our approach and our attitude towards that is something that we can control and can really help make a difference in how effective we are during those times. And so, what was really good about that, and something I learned, is that, the next time that, another season of life, another trial of life came in, I felt like I was able to handle it much better, because I just kept saying to myself and kept speaking to myself, Jonathan, control what you can control and forget what you can't control. And from there, I was able to get through that. And I know there are going to be a lot more things that come on later on in life. But with that mindset and with that attitude, you're going to be able to be a lot more effective and a lot more focused on the things that you can control, which allows you to be more effective in your workplace and in your career. So this is super important. Focus on what you can control, forget what you can't control. So these are the 3 things that I've learned the first 5 years of my career. Build an internal brand, go above and beyond, and focus on what you can control. I want to thank you so much if you've made it thus far in the video. I really appreciate it. I'm super happy just for the engagement that I see, even though it's on such a small scale. Every view, every like, every comment, it really matters a lot to me. And I hope that you just find these things helpful in general. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.